Come to my seminar.
Recording in progress.
I hope you guys are ready. It's me, Erin.
And it's me, Megan.
We haven't introduced ourselves in like months because we just assumed you guys knew who we were, but...
That's true. Why would you listen otherwise?
Exactly. Welcome to another episode, another new month of fun on the Utterly Unrelated podcast. Before we dive headfirst into a month of...
Schemes! Pyramid schemes, to be specific.
MLMs.
Multi-level schemes.
Oh, so many preciouses. I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge that it is Autism Acceptance Month.
Yay!
Yay! And in honor of my baby boy, my little Wolfie Doodle, who just hates it when I call him that. I just wanted to take a moment and mention everybody who has an autistic, someone that they love. The best way that you can support them is by reaching out to an autistic person to learn what you can do. You always want to make sure and find someone who can tell you directly what it is they need for support, as opposed to going to something like, oh, I don't know, what is that, Autism Speaks, where it's a bunch of neurotypicals projecting what you should do to potentially help, quote unquote, help someone on the spectrum.
They want to wipe out people on the spectrum.
They do.
Like, literally, their website says the goal is to, like, end autism.
Yeah.
They want to fucked up.
They want to eradicate autism, and soon,
I'm so fucked up.
They're gonna come for the Pomeranians next.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I know they will.
And
after that, the fucking baby kittens.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Penguins, your days are numbered.
Right? Pangolins.
And then
your days are already up.
And then they'll jump back to humans. They're gonna go after South Africa. I feel it. Autism Speaks knows no bounds.
Yeah,
they've been given
that.
unlimited. Quiet acceptance from people who didn't know any better. And if you know what, if you have a puzzle piece tattoo, I always assume that you got it with the best of intentions. But now that we know different, now that we know that Autism Speaks is run by neurotypicals for neurotypicals, you know what, we can do better. So for my son, I reach out to autistic creators, autistic innovators, autistic adults who can help teach me how to better support him instead of trying to teach me how to change him, because he's perfect the way he is.
Yeah, he is.
Every autistic person I know is perfect just the way they are. So, if you want to help support someone who is neurodivergent, whether it be, autism or Tourette's or, ADD, OCD, whatever it is, reach out. There's a lot of really good resources out there. And on my Insta page, at Erin Potter Plow, on my Twitter, all this month I'm going to be posting content from autistic creators for the neurotypical audience to learn, to grow. So, you know what? No longer is it their job to acclimate to our world. It's our job to accept them the way they are.
And to inform ourselves.
And
also, though, do keep in mind, there are several autistic creators and autistic educators that you can reach out to. And while most people are generally there to, like, help and they mean well, not every autistic person is... How do I put it? It's not every autistic person's job to educate everybody. So make sure that when you do reach out, you reach out to, like, the appropriate people.
Absolutely. To ask. And that's why I'm going to be posting and reposting links to people like Hunter, who is an adult autistic husband, father, who has an entire YouTube channel dedicated to education. My favorite one that I watched this week was for autism moms who are neurotypical, have autistic children like me. And it was like the top 15 things you can do or not do to help your child. That was fucking awesome. So yeah, like, just because Jimmy down the street is on the spectrum, like, don't knock on his door.
Yeah.
He might
Yeah.
he might not
He
be
might be cool, but he might not, you know?
He might not be down to spend his day teaching you how to be nicer to him.
Yeah.
So
He might have some shit to do.
yeah, dude. He might need to cut his toenails or like literally anything.
He might have a program to watch
Yeah.
or like a nap to take or a fish to catch or whatever.
Exactly. It's not, you know, it's not on them to teach us.
It's on us to teach us.
Exactly. So make sure that you're reaching out to people who are down to teach. Yeah, I'm going to throw up a lot of, you know, in today's show notes, I'll throw up some links to my personal pages. So if you want to go on this journey and if you want to learn more, you can. And I welcome you. Like we're all on this journey together. I had written a piece that I was going to read today and I thought, you know what? This is a lot about me and I am not on the spectrum. So, you know, it's important for us to remember also to let them speak for themselves and let them teach us. I have no business talking about my son's experience when I don't know what it is. So, you know, like, end of lecture, but just remember, the world is changing and you can help change it for the better by learning how you can support other people, whether it's asking what are your pronouns or just not looking at someone weird when they put on sensory headphones.
Yeah.
Like, it's little things that you can do to help them feel more accepted. And it doesn't take that much effort.
Well, and the main thing to keep in mind in every fucking situation of your life is if it doesn't affect you and it's none of your business, keep fucking walking.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Unless you're really interested in having a full-blown conversation.
Which is dope.
Yeah, which is amazing.
But, like, in general, you know, if you're gonna be all judgy about shit, you may as well stay the fuck home.
Oh, dude, if you're gonna walk up to someone and ask them what their pronouns are, it better be followed by "Thanks for letting me know. Now we can move forward with a conversation of like which direction is the fucking coffee shop." And not have you met my best friend Jesus? He hates you.
Well, and also, like, sometimes people will just ask a person's pronouns out of a morbid curiosity of, what are they?
Yeah.
Which is none of your fucking business.
No.
Like, you should ask a person's pronouns if you plan to refer to them in public or, you know, like, introductions like, hi, I'm Megan, I'm she, her, what are your pronouns? Like, definitely normalize pronouns for sure, but also ask yourself why you're asking. Are you asking to be like a cool bro, or are you asking to fucking sip from the peanut gallery with judgment?
Yeah, and that's a big difference. That's a big difference. You don't get to walk up to somebody in a Goodwill and be like, what are your pronouns? Because you're in the women's section.
That's fucking creepy.
Because that's fucking insane.
That's fucking creepy, and it's none of your goddamn business.
Yeah, but if you want to walk up to someone and go, hey, I'm Erin, I'm she, her, what are your pronouns? How do you prefer to be, you know, spoken to? And if
like,
you know,
in a business setting, it's definitely a lot more appropriate. Like,
yeah.
very, very, very much so. Because you will be referring to that person from that point on. Yeah. You know, like...
Especially when you're trying to pitch them an MLM.
Right.
And you use the, like, love bombing where you use their name over and over again.
You need to know their proper pronouns if you plan to love bomb a motherfucker.
You don't want to spend 10 minutes telling them why they should join you in Amway and you're calling them he.
Right.
And they are not a he.
Also, when in doubt, just go to they.
Yeah, always. And
if
you know,
are not sure, or, I mean, honestly, my default that my brain goes to is just they or non-gendered pronouns anyway.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. I say that's fine because that's the thing I do.
Yeah.
It might not be fine, but I think it's fine because it's the thing I've been doing.
And you know what it takes? A quarter of a second. A quarter of a second of my time.
Totally.
To like, wait, stop. And you know what? As someone who waitressed for a long time, and in a small town, and would call people hun or hey Missy, hey hun, hey, you know, that was a thing that you used to be able to do. You could look at someone and you didn't know their name, but you wanted to refer to them in a way that made them feel fuzzy and good about you, so they would tip you. And you do it based on the way that they look. And that's not a thing that we do anymore. That's not a thing that anyone should do anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, fuck. I look like a chubby little mother driving a minivan, and maybe that's who I am on the outside, but on the inside, I am a glorious beacon of chaos and Loki energy waiting to scheme you. So when you say, hey, hun. Immediately, I'm like, I'm not a hun. I'm a murderous, rampaging god.
Now, okay, I actually have a completely separate view on this because, like, my mom always hated it when people would, like, refer to her in sweetly gendered terms, like hun or doll or whatever. Sweetie, she fucking hates sweetie, especially if it's from somebody that's, like, her age. And I'm like, I think that that's a nice thing to say. Like, I won't say it to somebody because I feel like it's a little cringe and it's overstepping. But when people say it to me, I'm like, "Aw, I got them fooled, don't I?"
Well, you know what? It also sounds a lot better than, thank you, ma'am.
I don't mind that either.
I don't like the ma'am.
I think that the only thing that I mind is people directly berating me in a very targeted manner. That's the only thing that I'm, like, against, really.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So much. Have a good day.
Great setup.
You know what? We're recording a podcast in here. It works perfect. I mean, except for some of the road noise. But yeah.
Way to go.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Oh, a nice guy.
Super nice.
Nice
Not at all
guy.
hot, but super nice.
Very nice fella.
Oh my god.
We got our Uber! Hell
So
yes.
excited. Okay, Megan and I have been talking
For, like, weeks.
weeks. We've been talking about getting this specific treat.
So let us describe this to you. This is what it alleges to be. 2 slices of pound cake toasted with cheesecake in the middle.
Oh my fucking
And you know what?
god.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Hells yeah, it is. I'm going to throw up a picture on our Insta because,
Yes.
damn, this thing. Okay, and after, like, the most minimal of deep dives, I realized that this is a shill company run out of a Denny's. And immediately I was like, ew. But no way is this
Yeah, it
you.
actually looks really good.
This looks fucking
I'm kind of
amazing.
surprised. So, okay, as a delivery driver, I will tell you all, there are a handful of companies that are run out of other, like, companies. Like, okay, for instance, when I was in Moses Lake, there was, God, like 3 different ones run out of the Denny's. There was a popular Mexican restaurant that had like 2 or 3 other shell corporations like going on inside of there. They call them, God, what the fuck do they call them? Like something kitchens.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's essentially, it's food from the place that they market as something else. Red Robin has that also.
Really?
Oh yeah, they have like 3 different companies running out of Red Robin.
Fuckers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she's taking the first bite. Let's see. I mean,
It's definitely cheesecake.
it smells like buttery goodness. Sorry, we've started this new thing
It's
where
pretty good.
instead of like recording stuff for the Patreon, we just order ourselves food and then eat while we're recording. Okay, I'm gonna try a whole bite. Fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I get the cheesecake. I get the pound cake.
And a little bit of strawberry.
A little bit of strawberry. That is a solidly good meal. If you're curious, you can order it from The Meltdown, and it's called The Treat Yourself.
I think it's on DoorDash.
Mm-hmm. On DoorDash. Yeah, it's fuck yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
So now that we have our proper treats and we've done our breakdown, we're going to get into it. So this month we are exploring everything to do with MLMs. Today we're going to do an easy listening episode where we're going to talk about what is an MLM. What is it?
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Broad strokes.
Then we're going to get into later in the month, we're going to talk about the ones that you probably grew up with, like Mary Kay, Avon, Tupperware, all the ones that were socially acceptable.
We're going to like briefly touch a little bit upon them today.
Yeah, just a
And
little
then
bit.
We're going to do like apparel, shit like that. The very last episode of the month, though, that's reserved for the most predatory. Oh my fucking god. These guys are so fucking predatory. It's the health and wellness ones. Mm-hmm. The health and wellness ones. So,
The ones that can literally kill you.
yeah.
And don't mind if they do.
So this is, they're doTERRA, Herbalife, Young Living. Like, there's a few other ones, Beachbody, that are not only super fucking predatory to their target demographic, like their consumers, it also is very, very predatory to the consultants, sellers, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves.
I watched an episode of Penn and Teller's Bullshit, and he was screaming about, why don't they just call them sales associates? That's what they are. But they don't. They call them everything else.
It's because a sales associate, it's implied, gets paid.
Yeah, that's true.
These people make an average of nothing.
Yeah. So we'll get into it. So what is an MLM? That is a multi-level marketing. The term refers to multi-level marketing, a strategy used by some direct sales companies to sell products and services. MLM encourages existing members to promote and sell their offerings to other individuals and bring on new recruits into the business. Now, I will say sweepingly that you will not make your money on the product, and that's the whole basis of an MLM.
That's one of the main characteristics of an MLM.
You will never, you might break even. You make your money in the recruiting, and this
is what separates it from, like, selling magazines door to door. Or Kirby vacuums or knives or whatever. Like, yeah, this is the main separator. Is like you cannot, even if you can make a bit of your money back, you cannot move up in the ranks in the majority of MLMs unless you lose your ass by buying so much product or you have people underneath you.
Mm-hmm. So that leads us to the first question that I had, which was, how did MLMs start? So the overarching concept of direct selling by cutting out the retailer has been around for thousands of years. The business model of MLMs as we know them today originated in the United States, although there's, of course, debate over who started it. Avon claims to be the first one, having set up in 1886 under the name of the California Perfume Company. Others claim that it was a company called Watchers selling sea vegetable supplements, which I'm assuming is sea vegetables. That's like... Oh, God.
Like seaweed or whatever?
Seaweed, yeah. I brain farted for a second. But that was in the 1930s. Now, around the 1930s, there was a supplement company called Nutrilite, then known as the California Vitamin Company. Now, you'll find that them switching names multiple times is fairly common.
Oh, hell yeah.
They all boil down to one thing. They're a Ponzi scheme. They're a pyramid scheme. You fund the top by exploiting the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's we're just going to go ahead and say that it's probably Avon that has been around the longest and started what we know as the current MLM today. Now, have you gone to a Sensi party and they tell you, gosh, you can make so much as a representative. You just get 2 people under you and 2 people under you. Yeah, maybe Sensi doesn't feel like it's exploitative, but if the basis for your business model is to recruit, you're in a cult, you're in an MLM, it might not be nefarious, they might not want your firstborn, but you're never going to be a millionaire, despite what...
Unless you get in the very beginning.
Yes.
That's why, like, LuLaRoe had a degree of success because it was a newer MLM. It was started, depending on whose story you're listening to, it was started around 2009, 2012.
Yeah.
It was started, once again, as a different company. And I believe it was called Fitted. And it was Deanne Stidham of LuLaRoe, and her twin sister Diane, who gets overlooked many times, often.
Didn't know she had a twin sister.
Right? Exactly. They had this company called Fitted, and it just sold like pencil skirts or some shit, right?
Maxi skirts, yeah.
Maxi skirts, that's right. I don't know what the fuck a maxi skirt is.
Oh, it's the long one, the one that goes to your ankles.
Oh, it's a long pencil skirt. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The maximum amount of skirt.
Oh, yeah. I get you.
I remember that too. I remember when that happened and everyone on Facebook was trying to tell me how cute these maxi skirts were.
But they weren't, though.
I was like, dude, I'm 5'0" nothing. I can't wear a maxi skirt. Are you kidding me?
That's a tube top dress, bro.
Have you ever seen an orangutan in a fucking in a muumuu? Because that's what it looks like on me. Anyway.
Dude, on me too, friend. Oh. I raised my hand on that. Shit, where was I going with that?
Sorry, DM and her twin sister and LuLaRoe and why it was so successful in the beginning.
Oh yeah, is because they started it like relatively recently, and so it was easy to get a whole bunch of people signed up. And then actually Facebook, when you started being able to go live, fuck, that exploded it. Yeah. But the funny thing is, they've gotten hit with a ton of lawsuits because a lot of the shit that they were doing actually went against the old school fucking consumer awareness shit. Like the stuff that, okay, so back not even that long ago, there was a bunch of ruling where like you can't make people inventory load. There's a handful of other things. And so they had made, in order to attempt to correct this, they had made some rules in LuLaRoe where there was like a buyback policy. Well, here's the fuck of it. So when they had gone through, and this is actually Amway helped make these rules. When it boils down to it, all they did was actually protect the MLMs more. Because once again, they were allowed to write their own goddamn rules.
Yeah.
And so they did have a buyback policy for sure. But guess what wasn't included? Fucking everything. Yeah. And even like Herbalife, a handful of the other MLMs that also adopted this policy, it wasn't valid on discount items. It wasn't valid on seasonal. It wasn't valid on perishable. It wasn't valid on things that were unsellable. So like the stinky leggings, they were stuck in the rain and because they had oversights at their warehouse. They also had inventory stocked a little too fucking much.
Yeah, they did.
And so yeah, like there is legislation in place allegedly to protect the consumer, but it is not. They gave the foxes the key to the chicken house.
Yeah, they did. And you know, if you want to do a deep dive on LuLaRoe, there's
a great Vice one.
Oh my gosh, there's a great Vice one.
That was the one that turned me on to it. You can find it on YouTube. It's called something to the effect of why women are stopping their side hustle. Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's got one of the more profound, the people who speak more against LuLaRoe, and her name is Blevins.
Yes. I follow her on TikTok. I found her on TikTok.
It's not Carla. Shit.
We'll link her in the show notes when we get her profile. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that you know what, that actually brings up a good point that is important, I think, because like in the Discovery Plus special on LuLaRoe, which I didn't get too far into because it was just kind of repeating stuff. You know, it seemed pretty anti LuLaRoe, but the one on Amazon was. And it was touted as like a 5-part series. It was startling how many pro LuLaRoe people they still had on there. People who are still doing Facebook Live sells. Like, LuLaRoe is not out of business.
Even one of our favorite people does LuLaRoe.
Yeah, she does.
Mary.
So does Christine, I think.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, you know, whatever. The thing is, for them, it probably does work because they have a platform. I mean, fuck, dude. If I was going to buy LuLaRoe, I would buy it from Mary.
Yeah, me too. Which actually brings me to my first question. Well, my next question. That brings me to my next question. Are all MLMs bad?
They're varying degrees of bad. No MLMs are good. Just as, I mean,
they're predatory.
Well, I mean, yes, they are. Absolutely. Even the best of them are still not good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that also kind of goes for most corporations. The worst of them are far worse. Far, far fucking worse than, like, let's say Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But even the good ones are as good as Walmart. Or Disney Corporation. Like, nearly impossible to be an ethical consumer in a capitalist society.
Yeah, that is very true. You know, and it's not that they exploit people who are in a position to be exploited or to be aware.
It's just that they exploit people who are in a vulnerable position to be exploited.
People who maybe are traditionally uneducated,
even people who are educated,
Yeah.
they definitely prey on situational weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. And people who are in a situation where they don't have anyone to tell them, like, hey, if it sounds too good to be true, it might be. Single moms, people who are struggling economically, people who...
Army moms.
Or
military moms, you know.
Absolutely. People who are genuinely good people looking for a second source of income, because God damn it, none of us can live on one income anymore.
Well, and the thing that also is most important to address is the high cost of childcare.
Mm-hmm.
And so they say, oh, you can work from home, you can be a boss babe, you can all this stuff.
The hijacking of the feminist
Oh my God,
dictionary,
right?
like all the things,
It's
like hashtag boss babe. Holy shit.
So, okay, for me, I find that shit, like, personally offensive as, like, a female-bodied person, that they're trying to do all this, like, yeah, girl power, which, honestly, man, some of the most condescending shit I have ever been told has been from other females. Like, when I was, in a band, and I definitely, like, I didn't sound like the chicks from Blatz, you know, like, I sounded like a dude, and I just went up and I was a little fucking warhorse, and all the time, like, if there was females in the audience, oftentimes they would, look at you going up and doing this, and it's like, I mean, like, yeah, but why? I don't understand why my gender should play a role in any of that. Like, if anything, it made it easier for me. And I understand that the Portland scene is a lot different than other scenes, but if anything, like, it made it a lot easier for me. And I saw other bands that were way worse than ours, which frankly is difficult. They obviously were working at it. And they had great crowds because they were female, because they were able to, like, hustle that aspect of it. It definitely wasn't because they were good musicians. They were fucking terrible. So for somebody to just, like, really lean into that, like, girl power, we can do it, is really fucking irritating, especially coming from fucking LuLaRoe. Here's why it's... Sorry about this tirade. Here's why it is specifically frustrating coming from this goddamn family. So, the startup family, the startups are... That's Deanne and Diane's maiden name is Startup. Their family very actively worked against the feminist movement. And I don't, like, whatever, I'm, you know, they're not enemies of the state for that specific reason, but they, for them to work so fucking hard against the feminist movement and then try to use it to line their pocketbooks, I think is fucked up and very predatory.
Oh, and not only that, so...
And if you want to know how they worked against it, please DM me. I will tell you fucking everything.
They are definitely...
With links.
They are higher ups in the Mormon church, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And in a lot of the LuLaRoe documentaries, they talk about how the structure that they give you to succeed for your business is to build your clientele and hand your business over to your husband, so that you can continue to
Both
recruit.
Deanne and Diane did that.
Yeah, I mean, that is the whole thing. They have
Their
it set
husbands
up.
are the CEOs.
Yeah, and they are not shy about it. They talk about all the time how it's a family structure. The stay-at-home mom should stay at home, hand your business over to your husband. That's the way it's structured. And when people are like, what the fuck? I'm not making my money back. These leggings are stinky. You're giving me bad shit. They're like, whoa. You're just not working hard enough. Have you talked to your husband? Have you set it up so he can take it over? And it's like, what? So, you know, I think behind every MLM is a fucking... is a millionaire wannabe. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's capitalism. But the way that they nefariously trick people who don't have the means to lose what they have to invest in this
man.
what gets us.
And especially, like, going back to Deanne Stedham, she had made her backstory seem as though she was a struggling single mother, and she built this business from nothing, and she, you know, took out a loan to do all this. And so why can't you take out a loan? Mm-hmm. Why can't you take out a $5,000 fucking loan as a struggling person?
That was the startup cost.
Yeah.
$5,000.
$5,000 fucking dollars. Why can't you, as a struggling person, a struggling parent perhaps, which is mostly what they prey upon, take this out? And if you don't, you're lazy, you don't care about your family. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole fucking personal read. And that's, I mean, they're able to get into people's lives by emotional manipulation, by love bombing, especially manipulating faith. Mm-hmm. Most of the time they will prey upon people of faith, because people of faith have the ability and desire to suspend their disbelief.
Yes, absolutely.
As opposed to just looking, and I'm not saying that people of faith are stupid, I'm just saying that that's the one thing that is specifically preyed upon. Yeah. Also, and this has been said multiple times by people other than myself, but it's true, having grown up in the Mormon church, Mormons are fucking gullible. Mm-hmm. They're very sweet, very good, very trusting people.
They're also very sheltered.
Oh, are very sheltered, and also assume that other people are going to be good.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is not the case.
Which is so sad.
Well, and it's people inside of their own faith that are honestly, like, doing a lot of this recruiting. They use faith-based structures on purpose.
Yeah, because they know they work.
Yeah, exactly. Even, like, with the Handbags 31.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's a faith-based structure. And if you're not doing well, they'll ask if you've prayed about it, this, that, the other. It's very akin to Prosperity Bible, which, if you're not familiar with Prosperity Gospel, rather, Prosperity Gospel is more like, you have to, it's like, the one with the vision boards. Fuck was that?
Yes,
the Wish? Not the Wish. That's a podcast.
Oh, God.
The Gift.
Oh, we're so close. The Dream, the Gift, the Secret. The Secret!
Yes. It was a fucking secret, even from us. It's like The Secret in that sense, that, like, you have to envision what you want. You have to manifest it. You have to give to the church. The more you give, the more you'll get. Same thing with, you know, anything like with MLM. You have to give. The more you give, the more you're going to get out of it. You have to go to these conferences that cost so fucking much money. And if you don't go to these conferences, that's your misgiving. Generally, a lot of the people who go to these conferences are either going there to speak, or they are going there because their business is failing. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to figure out why. From people who have gone to these conferences, it is depressing and not at all the fun time that was promised. And it's very fucking expensive.
Now, you might think, God, all this sounds really familiar. You know why? Because it is very often MLMs are compared to cults. And I think...
Yes, because they use similar tactics.
They do. They use similar tactics. I think it's an appropriate comparison. I think the big difference
Actually, is this a cult?
Yeah, exactly.
Did an episode on MLMs.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you meant
and they were like,
notes. I was like,
maybe.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
were
no,
like, probably.
Totally. I mean, the only thing that they don't do... You know what? I take that back. Okay, there was a brief moment in time in 2019 when a show came on Showtime starring Kirsten Dunst, and it was called On Becoming a God in Central Florida. It is fucking...
It's a great show, man.
Oh, it's phenomenal. You have to watch it. It's so good. It's, I mean...
A lot of people who have grown up with Amway had said that this was a mirror representation of their childhood.
Yes.
It's set in, like the early 90s?
Yes, early 90s in Central Florida. And it's a woman, I'm not going to spoil it. But
Kirsten Dunst is in it, and it's fucking great. Yeah. And also, Buffalo Bill, would you fuck me? Fuck me. That guy, he's in it.
He's in it. And also, Eric from True Blood.
Yes.
Not Bill. Which Skarsgård is he?
He's the Skarsgård that doesn't look as much like a Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's
normal looking Skarsgård.
except he's 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
maybe it is Bill's.
Really...
No, Bill's the young
Bill's,
one.
Yeah, Bill's.
Yeah, Bill's
Hemlock Grove.
Yeah,
Bill's the one. If I was a Skarsgård, I'd be Bill because I got big old eyes and I got a creepy demeanor.
You'd be perfectly fine as Pennywise. Yeah, he's like a blank slate of a person. Like, he just takes on his character and then goes back to being like a creepy blank slate.
So I like it because he's just a normal weird dude that you would meet at parties who's a little too into snakes.
Dude, totally.
He has a reptile. Yeah, I don't know if he has a reptile room, but if he wasn't a famous Skarsgård vampire, his heart is a reptile room.
Yeah, if he wasn't a famous Skarsgård, he would be like legit selling exotic reptiles.
No, not selling. He would have like a 2-bedroom apartment, and the reptiles would have the larger room, and he would sleep in the tiny little closet room. And he can't keep a relationship because he just like doesn't really want one.
No, he's got his reptiles.
He's got his fucking
snakes.
reptiles, yeah. And sometimes he just like lays down and he lets a lot of the snakes loose because the snakes all get along with each other. Yeah. And he just lets them slither all over his body. It's weird.
It is weird.
He lets the spiders crawl on his face.
Ooh, he gives them kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's why he can't keep a girlfriend. And he's got clicky toenails. You know he does.
He's got clicky toenails.
This is if he wasn't famous or a vampire Skarsgård.
Yeah, because he's too tall to reach him. He just...
I know, right? He's got to have the Wendigo freeze him off.
Oh my fucking god. I found this picture from a Reddit stream of this guy who had taken a picture of his new gun and he posted it on some Reddit stream. But like in the picture, it's his hand holding a gun, and then like it's a downward shot, so all you see are his weird like bird legs and his bare feet. And I stared at it for so long because I was like, are those acrylic? Those have got to be fake toenails.
It looks like he took Scotch tape and put them on where his toenails should
yeah,
be.
They're so fucking long and creepy. I will post that picture too. Look at your own discretion.
He's got Wendigo toenails for sure.
He has Wendigo toenails. It was so gross. Yeah, and I feel like totally Bill Skarsgård. But anyway, back to the show. So the show is all about the fam products, which is totally Amway.
It's Amway, yeah.
And how you can't associate, because I was going to say the only way it's different than a cult is it doesn't make you disconnect from your family, but that's not true.
If your family is not into Amway, then yeah, they will absolutely tell you to disconnect with them. Also, some of the terminology that they used in the movie is Amway terminology, like being a stinker thinker.
Really?
I'm not fucking kidding. Yeah, that's
Holy
a thing, dude.
shit.
That's a real thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus trying to sell me that stinking thinking was just dude. The damage that book did.
Oh, I'm sure.
To my brain. Not to my toxic fucked up relationship was still toxic and fucked up. But except it was me going...
But now you blamed yourself for it.
Even more.
Cool.
And I was like, do you need to go into your cave? I know men go into their caves when they're confronted with emotional things. I mean, it was so fucking... Ugh.
Damn. Okay, so here's the thing. Having grown up in a religion, I have an immediate aversion to using the same terms that they use, because immediately I'm like, this has to be a cult. And here's why. When I was a little kid in the Mormon church, all the other little kids would go up to bear their testimonies, and it was the same. They would all repeat the same thing. And I was like, this sounds so cult-like. It was like, I like to bear my testimony. I know this church is true. I believe that Joseph Smith was a prophet. I love my mom and dad and my brother and my dog. There was like a handful of other things that they would say that honestly I blocked out. But yeah, and then and I say this in Heavenly Father's name, and I pray Jesus Christ, amen.
Dang, that is creepy.
Yeah.
At least they just... Never mind. I was going to compare it to Catholics. I'm not going to. I don't want to get into it.
Catholicism has way more steps.
I was going to say, at least in Catholicism, they don't ask you to talk because they're not interested in your opinion.
I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with that.
Wafer.
Yeah, well, so we got ripped up bread. I have still never had a Jesus wafer. I feel like it would be like a rice cracker.
It is.
Cool.
A stale one. No salt.
I could live with that.
Dude, I was listening to not to go on too much of a tangent, but I was listening to this audiobook where this crow is the main character. It's so good, and his name is Shit Turd.
I gotta check this book out.
It's so good. I gotta send it to you. But he was like, he the book is called Hollow Kingdom, and it's a crow that has survived after the zombie apocalypse, and he's like, there's my neighbor Nargotha. Ooh, she's eating Triscuits. Triscuits was her dog. And for a second I was like, oh, she's a zombie eating Triscuits? Like I was like, oh, Triscuits, and I spent like a solid 35 seconds in my head just hating on Triscuits before I realized that I had stopped listening and he was talking about a dog, and I was like, oh, who the fuck names their dog after some shit ass cracker? What the
Somebody
fuck?
with feathered hair.
Yeah,
somebody
definitely.
who would be in a fucking MLM, bringing it back.
Somebody who would, yeah.
Yes.
So bringing
I
it
bet
back
she had
to
another
group
dog
thought.
named Missy.
Oh my god, right? So one thing that I noticed, and I'm sorry, it's nothing against women that work at the bank. It's just that when I worked at the bank, that was the first time I was in a place where it was all women. And so every week it was like a Scentsy party, or it was what's the candle one? Party light. You know, and
Man,
all
my
this
cousin
shit.
works for Party Light.
Dude, and
that's
I was
fucking
like,
awesome.
I was like,
holidays are dope.
I bet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't have money for all this. There were jewelry parties. There were all kinds of shit. I'm like, we all work at the bank together. Like, you know, I can't afford this because I make as little as you do.
Yeah, but if you were a consultant.
I know, right? Then I can invite all you to my parties.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. And I went, and I remember just thinking, like, everyone here knows that I'm like, I'm never going to buy anything. Like, I'm basically undercover figuring out.
I'm here for the hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, like, I'm here for the hors d'oeuvres. I thought maybe you invited me because we're friends, but clearly we're not. And so even to this day, I see pictures of these women all together, like arm in arm on these retreats where they're going.
That would be hell for me.
Oh my God. And mostly it's like retreats for the bank, because those were just as creepy as
that would
these
still
like
be hell for me.
MLM ones. But it's like, okay, then you get everyone together and you all do a group chant, just like in church or in a cult. And then you all get like, I don't know, fun flair, like little Mardi Gras necklaces, and you know, and then you all hear the one who started it all speak, and it's just like, dude, somebody stand up and like say this ain't right. Like, none of these 1,500 people has like even an icky feeling about this at all.
I'm so garbage at idol worship. Like,
you know, and that's why me being a contrarian is such a gift. I mean, yeah, I will probably die sooner than everyone else because I refuse to join groups, but like
I'll join a group if it's a cool group.
I mean,
like, at work, the people I work with are cool as fuck. If they were a group, I would join that group.
Dude, if it were the end of days and someone paddled by during the Great Flood in a big boat and they were like, get on, I'd be like, you're not gonna get me.
I'd be
that
like,
boat's
maybe.
gonna sink.
I would check their vibe.
Yeah.
I'd do a vibe check.
Well, and then I would probably die trying to convert this RV into a boat. But I would die full of pride knowing that I had gone out on my own terms instead of joining the group in the arc going by. I do hear it. I hear it when I say it. But I'm so not motivated to join a group that like
groups join me.
See, that's why you're the charismatic one and I'm the contrarian. It's going to be your face on the big marquee when we go on tour. Instead of me just like...
No, it's gonna be us both in denim jackets doing the glamour shots back to back, popping our collar.
Dude, I'm already working my thumbs out to get the massive,
yeah.
like, thumb pop.
You
Hell
got to, man. You got to.
I'm down.
Feathered hair, it's gonna be dope.
But we're gonna be like that movie Twins, where I'm the Danny DeVito and you're the Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm just like the little guy on your back.
I'm like an inch taller than you, bro.
I'm 1.5.
I'm like 5'3".
You're more like 5'5".
Well, I'm 5'5" now, but I was 5'3" before.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, when we stand next to each other, it's we have to stand at certain distances to look totally, like, on par. But we're pretty close.
I'm bad at knowing my size.
I would say
I'm
you're
not
like
sure
5'5".
if I'm 5'9" or 4'8".
I would say you're between 5'5" and 5'7".
Nah, there's nothing that exists between those two sizes. I'm one or the other. That's it.
Dude, DJ is 4'7". My 8-year-old is almost fucking as tall as me.
Yeah, but isn't Dave like 6'6"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's
tall.
like twice your height.
Yeah, it's weird when I look at pictures and I'm like, oh, the top of my head sometimes will
comes to like the bottom of his chest.
Yeah, almost graze his elbow. It's real weird. We have this picture of us holding our kids at the Newport Aquarium, and I'm standing. Usually, it's like kids in the middle, us on either side. But I'm standing right next to Dave while he holds Wolfie, and DJ comes up to my chin, and I come up to like Dave's elbow. It's just like it's this weird. Yeah, it's a weird uptick, but I just went the other direction. I was like, I'm too little for this life. Someone's got to get up in the shelves for me.
Yeah, but then you get on the roof and stuff.
I do get on the roof. It's because I'm little and nimbly. Yeah. Although I used that against him in a fight the other day. I was like, you just stand there and watch me get up on the roof in a fucking storm. He's like, you're the one who got up in the roof on a storm. Like, you could have waited till the winds died down. I'm like,
that's valid.
But you'll never get on the roof. And he's like, yeah, but that wasn't the appropriate time for anyone to be on the roof, let alone you. I'm like, shut up.
It's not my fault you made a bad decision.
I know, right? So at the end of the day, the big question comes to, does every MLM end the same way?
A lot of the time, depending on when you got in.
I think, yeah.
Well, and the thing is, too, so it's not like, okay, if you have an accounting business, right? Let's say you do taxes for people quarterly, annually, right? And you have, like a decent portfolio of clients. And you don't have to work to get more clients. You have as many as you'd like. Then you can start, and then, you have a couple of employees under you who also do their taxes. That's when you get the residuals going, right? Mm-hmm. And you can, after, 10, 15, 20 years, you can comfortably retire and not have to do much and just rake in the residuals. I mean, even musicians do it to a smaller extent unless they're really big. That doesn't actually happen, surprisingly, in an MLM, because people are constantly leaving. And so even the people who are higher up, and I'm not talking like the, very platinum president, diamond, whatever the fucks, like, but people who are relatively higher up there, who actually do make a living wage with MLMs, even they still have to go out and keep recruiting and keep hustling, because there is such a fucking drop off. For every new person you get, another one drops off. Because, yeah.
It's not sustainable.
No.
None of it is sustainable. Remember that when you sign on to sell Mary Kay, my grandma did it till the day she couldn't do it anymore because she physically couldn't walk and deliver the orders. Like, my mom's mom, every year she got us Mary Kay stuff for Christmas because that was what was left in her overstock that she couldn't get rid of. Like, she didn't do it because she wanted to do it. Like, it's not sustainable. It's too good to be true.
You know the shitty thing about those cars, too? So Mary Kay is actually one of the... It's not as bad. Mary Kay, Tupperware, Pampered Chef... Avon. Yeah, those are all ones that they're not as bad. And maybe that's why they've been going for as long as they have.
Yeah, they don't have that intense drive.
Right. And I'm not saying that they're not bad at all. But it's, they're not telling people to stop taking their cancer medicines.
Yeah.
They're not
cutthroat.
telling people. I mean, they can be, but that's just individuals. That's a whole different thing. Yeah, but they're not like, telling you that you have to. You know what? No, that's not true. I was going to say they're not telling you that you have to have certain amounts of PV, because they are. With the Mary Kay cars, one thing that you have to know is they didn't just get handed the keys to a brand new car.
Pink Cadillac.
They
that's
didn't,
what you get at a certain level.
Even Arbonne has, I think, like white Mercedes or something, like there's a handful of them that do the car incentive. So they don't just give it to you free and it's yours to keep and you own it outright because you hit this goal one time.
You're shitting me.
No, they will get you the lease for the car.
It's a fucking lease?
It's a fucking lease.
Oh my God.
It's on your credit though, so if you fuck up and you don't sell X amount, or because you have to maintain a certain tier for them to pay the lease on your car. Otherwise, that month you end up paying the lease. And it's never, a Ford Focus. It's always something that's very ostentatious.
Yeah.
And
it preys on the yuppie idea of showing off wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That seems to be the core appeal.
That's the thing is if you are to say like, hey, so like instead of this pink Cadillac, can I just get like the money? No, because they're counting on you not being able to maintain that tier for the next however many fucking years. So they're like, no, because they're counting on you actually paying the fucking lease 9 out of 10 times.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. When I found that out, I was like, whoa, what?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super
I guess
fucked
that
up,
works
right?
in their favor that none of us know that. We just perpetuate the myth of like, get the pink Cadillac, get the white car. So, closing thoughts. Have you ever joined an MLM?
No, but that's because I am me.
Totally.
But I have... So people actually... The fucked thing is, people don't even invite me to their MLM parties. I went to one dildo party one time that was a friend of a friend, and I went because of the booze, and I got drunk. And then I took a nap.
Oh, that sounds
at my
amazing.
own house. Yeah, I took the nap at my own house. I didn't just like pass out in the punch bowl.
I'll just be here till dinner.
But I do have friends who have done it, like been involved in it. So when I was a kid growing up, my mom worked at a hotel, and Park Lane is this like jewelry MLM. And they were doing some sort of like a conference or a thing. And so and you know how this chick looked like a Barbie doll, and her husband was obviously like very physically well groomed. I don't believe he was straight. I'm not trying to call him out, but just
yeah.
I don't feel that he was there with himself yet.
Yeah. I only laugh because I have seen a lot of those husbands that clearly are there with their beard wives. And like,
yes.
They just wish so much that it was okay for them to be the ones that sold and involved.
Oh no, and he was very involved. Like, wow. He was kind of a trophy husband. They were the same age. They were the same... I mean, if you want to reduce everything to looks, like, they were both, cosmetic makeover 10s. Like, they were both very good looking because they worked really hard to be very good looking. But they had also, I mean, it's not like they were starting from looking like possums and got so much surgery. They were naturally, conventionally good looking, attractive people who also, would bleach their hair. And the guy, I think his name was Steve, would work out often, and it showed. He never would talk about it, but like, he didn't fucking have to. Him being alive, walking around with those sexy little pecs, he was working his ass out. And yeah, they had a baby, and I believe that she was probably in her 30s. I think they both were. She had some work done, bleach blonde, everything about her was very fake. very cultivated, very curated. And she was also very cringe, like most of them are. Like, she would definitely, there was a lot of virtue signaling.
What is virtue signaling?
It's where they'll drop keywords or key phrases to signify, I mean, and all different kind of groups do this too. I'm guilty of it, fuck yeah. But it's more or less dropping lines, dropping words that would imply dog whistles that would imply to other people who are of similar groups that you are with them, that you are of them.
Gotcha.
But mainly for her virtue signaling, it was religion, Christianity. She was very into Christianity as a business.
Shit.
Yes. She wouldn't try to recruit people into Christianity, but yeah, into Park Lane for sure. And so I was a goth kid. I was a goth nihilist who was detrimentally polite. And so my mom would bring me to these things, and like, I mean, fuck, I didn't have fuck else to do, so like, yeah, of course I went.
Yeah.
Everyone was nice and stuff, but I'm not susceptible to love bombing. It just red flags, I mean, alarm sound. And so every time that they tried to, like, her thing was, oh, that's so sticky dow wow, that's so sticky. I guess she went to China one time, and sticky dow wow is supposed to mean like cool or good or something that's positive. It might not. It might mean this white woman's driving me fucking nuts. But
get away from me, white devil.
Right. Get away from me, you fucking weirdo with your fucking hair. And so everything to her was, oh, that's so sticky. Oh, that's sticky dow wow. Oh, you have to have this. Oh my God, it looks so good on you. And for me, I know that a fucking cheetah pin does not look good on me because I am not 80. I'm not using it to close my kerchief.
Right?
It's gaudy and there's no reason for me to have it.
Yeah. Especially at the price you're trying to tell me it's worth.
Oh, for sure. And so, like, my mom and I did it mainly because we like to spend money.
Yeah.
And not in any way because we ever thought we would make any money. So, I mean, I do have to say this. My mom has gotten involved in no MLMs to the point that most people get involved. Like, we would consume from them, but really that's it. Because my mom has a very short attention span. As do I. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah. And she had a full-time job that was paying money. Yeah. Good money.
Yeah, that's
money enough we could throw at fucking, jewelry for no goddamn reason.
The one time I almost got taken, it wasn't because I was super available or influenceable, susceptible. I was 17. I was homeless. I was desperate to make enough money to try to find someplace to live that was not my boyfriend's mom's house at the time. And I answered an ad in the paper.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, that little 1997 Aaron, 1998 Aaron.
Those pieces of shit.
Yeah, so I show up and they're like, we're vector marketing. We're going to teach you how to sell knives. I was like, what? I can't sell anything. Nobody wants to buy anything from this. I approach people with knives. They're going to be like, what the fuck?
They're going to call the fucking cops.
Right? Especially
Can I cut your shoes?
May I cut your shoes? And now I can. I mean, I looked like I licked Marilyn Manson's ass. I was so black lipstick. I mean, just like I was a child.
Besties.
We would have been besties back then.
Because that was who I was in that same year.
Dude, we would have had so much fun dancing to The Cure and smoking cigarettes.
Except for I don't like The Cure and I don't dance, but smoking cigarettes, I'm there.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have smoked cigarettes and I would have been like, this chick really likes The Cure.
I would just dance like this.
I would have been like, whatever. She buys me smokes. It's cool.
We would have traded purses a lot. Like, it would have been awesome. But like, and they were like, all we need is a small investment for your starter kit. And I was like, I have no money. I have no money. I have less than no money. And shortly after that, I ended up living in the park for a little while.
Did they offer to sponsor you?
They did not.
Okay, because that's another tactic that they'll do.
Oh, I apparently looked like I had no
have-
one to recruit that was going to work out for them.
If you don't have the money, they'll offer to sponsor you.
Ugh.
And that also gets their hooks in you. Because then not only do you owe them at that time money that they can tack interest onto, but you are beholden to them
See,
to succeed.
I knew it. My mom always told me that her mother would look at me as a small baby and be like, your child is willful. Why is she so willful? Well, you know what, Grandma? It's
Guess who's not selling Mary Kay?
right? Future contrarian. Like, there is a reason evolutionarily in my DNA. It was like, don't fall for schemes, perpetrate them. So
I kind of think that's how my family is too, because I have one cousin who, like, she does Pampered Chef, sort of. I get the idea that she does it for the free shit, because she, like I said, nobody has tried to hey hun me, but also I just don't think that is her style. I think that she's more like, hey, y'all like Pampered Chef? I got some.
yeah.
That's like, she'll post every now and then, like, hey, you want some shit? It's on sale. Like, but it's not.
That's nice. See, that's the
Yeah.
kind of sales rep I want.
Fuck yeah.
I want to come to you
Pepper
and be
Chef
like,
has cute shit too.
what do you for real,
If I want
right?
a pizza stone, like, I know
Yeah.
where the fuck to get it, you know?
Exactly. You
And
know, you
also,
can get it on
usually they
Amazon.
feed you.
Oh. See, I'd be down to be fed.
Yeah.
But now I have all these fucking dumb allergies that I didn't have when I was young.
yeah.
I am not their prime target.
Yeah,
So-
true that.
Well, you know what? Join us next time as we dive deeper into more specific, less
Angry rants and
no,
tirades.
I was gonna say more specific, less giving them a pass and sort of glazing over things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this was our, like, unstructured, like playground swim time.
Yeah.
And then, so the next one,
This was our come have free wine and cheese, and we'll tell you what we do. Next time,
Right.
we're gonna need you to
we're
bring
going to
a friend.
give you the sales pitch.
You're gonna get the sales pitch.
And you need to bring a friend.
You
or
might-
you do not get the gift bag.
Yeah, no gift bag, no timeshare pitch,
Especially no free
tickets,
camera.
no free camera, no tickets to Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, or
No, we're
Guyman
gonna-
and Sarfunkel, which is honestly, that's what it was. It was Guyman and Sarfunkel. Yes. Oh, you read that wrong? Oh, that's on you.
Yeah, sorry.
They're way better than the original, though.
That's how we get you. We get you to listen to our podcast for a while, and then we sell you a timeshare.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, it's in Miami, though, so
Well,
it's going to pay for itself. Do you know how much a hotel room for 7 weeks in Miami is?
Oh,
It's over
gosh.
$36,000.
I want 7 solid weeks in Miami, though.
Who doesn't?
What is the solution?
Well, a timeshare is. And guess
Well-
what? If you buy 3 and you sell 2 to a friend, you're vacationing for free.
Oh my god.
If you buy 5 and you sell 4 to friends, you're getting paid to vacation.
But can I Airbnb them?
Fuck no.
Oh, can I ever get rid of it?
Nope.
Okay, but I've already signed.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
That's why I'm telling you the truth now.
Ooh, my husband's not gonna like this.
Well, guess what? You don't have to tell him. That's
they
the
would-
best part.
They would say some shit like
No,
that.
they
wouldn't
do.
Oh my god.
They fucking do. You can check a box on some MLMs. You can check a box where it'll come as something else, or the invoice will say it was a free gift.
Oh my god, that's shady as fuck.
I know, because they
Dude.
want you to keep your spouse in the dark about this shit until it's too late, when they want your spouse to quit their job and join Mary Kay full time as well.
And they're like, wait, what? But I work at the DMV.
Right?
Oh my god.
Wait, what? But I'm a corporate lawyer.
Right? No, honey. Now we do fan products.
Our corporate lawyer.
You work for us. Did you ever watch that documentary, The Queen of Versailles, about Jackie and David Siegel? So David Siegel was like the timeshare king right around 2007. Yeah. And so they started the documentary, and then they followed it through the 2008 crash, and So the reason it's called the Queen of Versailles is because this couple are so goddamn rich that they wanted to build a replica of Versailles in Orlando, right? Like, so they buy the property in the swamp or wherever the fuck. They build the outer shell of this home that's like, I don't know, 8 million square feet or whatever the fuck it is, because they have so much goddamn money they don't know what to do with it. And then the housing bubble and the crisis and the funding and their shit goes tits up, right? And you feel bad for the wife, because like she wasn't in it for the money. Like, she wanted to help people. She had a bunch of kids. She took in her niece. She was just like, let's help everyone because we're rich. And I mean, I like fancy stuff and everything, but like, I'm still me. I'm still down to earth. And she was like, she really was in a lot of ways.
Except for the Versailles
thing. And so she was like someone who was raised normal, maintained as much normality as she could in this crazy situation.
Just always wanted Versailles.
Yeah, she just wanted, I mean, she like walks around in like, you know, like Florida shorts, you know, like booty cutoffs and like tank tops with her big old fake boobies and stuff. But, and you want to hate her, but she's so nice. She's like, I just want to save all the animals. And like, you know, my niece was living in a trailer. So I was like, just come live with me. Like, I love your mom and everything. And she's like my sister, but like she's drunk and abusing you. So like, just come live with me. Like, she's got a big heart. And so anyway, the whole documentary was about how they had everything and they fucking lost it, right? And they're like, they lose everything. So now just this week on Discovery Plus, this new show debuted, The Return of the Queen of Versailles. I don't know what happened yet. I can't wait to watch it. They're back. They're finishing Versailles because something happened and they got money again, and I want to know what it was.
They bet on the wrong side of wars.
Oh.
Yeah, war profiteering. There's a ton of money in it.
Ew.
I know. You would not believe
not
all
of
the things that you know about that have been funded by betting on both sides.
Ew.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I mean, they're the king. Go watch the documentary. It's on Discovery Plus now. You can find out all about the... And they talk a lot about the whole timeshare and how they lost everything. It's really
that's a pyramid scheme for sure.
Well,
like, that's a legit ass one.
Yeah, it is. I hear tires in our driveway, which might mean that our next round of food is here. So on that note, until next time.
Oh, wait.
No.